The Sleep Architecture Protocol. You are already where you need to be. Something in your body knows it is time to stop. The day has been held long enough. The thoughts that are still turning, they have already been thought. And there is nothing left to solve tonight. And yet the brain keeps going. Not because it is broken, because it is doing exactly what a brain under sustained pressure learns to do. It stays watchful. It scans. It rehearses. It runs the loops. That watchfulness kept your ancestors alive. It has served you. And tonight we are going to give it permission to stop. Not by forcing it, not by demanding that the thoughts stop, but by shifting the underlying neurochemistry, the actual brain state conditions that make watchfulness feel necessary. This is the Sleep Architecture Protocol, a clinically informed nervous system protocol built on the neuroscience of sleep onset. It works by inducing the specific brainwave patterns, neurochemical conditions, and autonomic states that precede natural sleep. You do not need to try to sleep. You just need to provide the conditions, and your brain will do the rest. Let your body be heavy. Let the surface beneath you hold everything. You have carried it long enough for today. We begin. We are going to move through the body once, not to fix anything, not to relax anything, simply to take inventory, to let the nervous system know that it has been noticed. The sympathetic nervous system stores the day in the body, in held postures, in micro-tensions, in a diaphragm that never fully descended. Part of what keeps the brain alert at night is unprocessed somatic input. The body still waiting for the all clear it didn't receive. We are sending the all clear now. Begin with the face. The muscles around the eyes often hold the effort of the day without us noticing. the slight squint of screen exposure, the narrowing of concentration. Just notice if they are doing anything right now. The jaw. Are the back teeth lightly touching or pressing? Let your tongue rest on the floor of your mouth rather than on the roof. This single adjustment reduces tension and sends a mild signal through your nerves that the vigilance posture is no longer required. The throat. Notice if there is anything held there. Perhaps a word unsaid. A tension in the larynx. You do not need to say it. You do not need to release it deliberately. Just allow the throat to be soft. The shoulders. Is there a trace of elevation? A readiness for something that is not coming? Nothing is coming. The day is finished. Let awareness drop into the chest, into the rib cage. Notice the breath moving there, not directing it yet, just observing. The ribs expanding with each inhale and falling with each exhale. The belly. In survival mode, the abdomen holds. It braces. It protects. Let it soften now, completely. The organs beneath it are safe. They do not need guarding tonight. The legs. Heavy. The feet. Whatever is left in them. The steps. The standing. The driving. Let it drain downward. Out through the soles. Into the surface beneath you. Let gravity have it. The body has been heard. The inventory is complete. We can move deeper. Now we introduce the breath that will carry you in. Sleep onset is not a switch, it is a gradient. The brain does not leap from wakefulness into sleep. It descends through a series of distinct electrical states. What we are going to do now is accelerate that descent by providing the precise bodily inputs that trigger it. The first input is the breath ratio. 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. The extended exhale, twice the length of the inhale, is one of the most powerful activators of the parasympathetic nervous system. As the exhale lengthens, the vagus nerve increases its output to the heart, slowing the beat. Heart rate variability shifts. The brainstem reads this as a signal that any threat state has resolved. At the same time, prolonged slow breathing increases carbon dioxide tolerance and reduces the rate of respiration, which nudges the brain toward the slower brain patterns, alpha and then theta waves, that characterize the edge of sleep. Theta waves are the electrical signature of the hypnagogic state, the threshold between wakefulness and sleep, where the mind begins to release its grip on linear thought. We are going there now. Begin. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth. Long and slow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, let the inhale be gentle. No gasping, just a quiet filling. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The vagus nerve is responding. The heart is slowing. The brainstem is receiving the signal. The day is over. The body is safe. Begin the descent. There is a neurochemical called adenosine, a sleep pressure molecule that accumulates in the brain throughout the day. Every hour you're awake, adenosine builds, and by now your brain is carrying a full day's worth of it. Adenosine is the body's own sleep signal, and it has been waiting all day for the conditions that allow it to do this work. Those conditions are these: a slowed heart rate, a quiet sympathetic nervous system, a vagus nerve in sustained activation, You are creating them right now with every exhale. Continue breathing. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The default mode network, the part of the brain that generates thought loops, planning, rumination, begins to quieten under sustained, slow exhalation. Not because you are suppressing it, because you are removing the neurochemical conditions it needs to keep running. You are not fighting the thoughts. You are withdrawing their fuel. Stay with the breath. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The brain moves through sleep in stages. What we are approaching now is the first threshold, the boundary between beta wave wakefulness and the slower, wider rhythms of pre-sleep. Beta waves, the frequency of alert, analytical thought, are beginning to slow. You may notice the edges of thoughts becoming less sharp, less sequential. This is not confusion. This is the brain entering alpha state, a receptive frequency associated with calm wakefulness. First step down. Allow the breath to continue at its own pace now. The counting has done its work. The pattern is established. The body will carry it forward without instruction. Imagine, and this requires no effort, no visualization skill, simply the weight of your own body, the density of it, the fact that you are being held, that the surface beneath you is solid, and that gravity is doing something kind, pressing you gently away from the day. Deep in the brain, your internal body clock has already noticed the shift into night. It has been quietly signalling to release melatonin for hours. Melatonin is a timing signal, a message to every cell in your body that darkness has arrived and that the night mode priorities now apply. Your biology has already been preparing for this. You are not fighting your body to sleep. You are joining a process that began without you. Now the theta waves begin to emerge. 4 to 8 cycles per second. The electrical rhythm of the hypnagogic threshold. This is the frequency of dreaming's edge, the frequency of intuition, of creative insight just before sleep, of the mind releasing the architecture of waking logic. You do not need to produce theta waves. You cannot force them, but you can remove the obstacles to them. And that is what you have been doing for the past few minutes. Every slow exhale, every body scan, every moment of noticing without correcting it, you have been clearing the path. The default mode network is becoming quieter. The loops, the planning, the reviewing, the what-ifs are losing their grip. Not because you pushed them away, because the brain no longer has the neurochemical resources to sustain them. The adenosine is pressing, the melatonin is rising, the vagal brake is fully engaged. Let the thoughts that remain simply be shapes, not sentences, not problems, just shapes passing through. You do not need to follow them. If you notice the body starting, a sudden jerk, a sensation of falling, this is called a hypnic jerk. It is the muscular system releasing the last bit of tension. It means you are at the threshold. It is not a problem. It is the door opening. There is nothing to do here, nowhere to arrive. The descent is already underway. The brain is moving now into its restorative architecture. Slow wave sleep is where the body repairs. where stress hormones reset, where your brain's own cleaning system switches on and flushes out the waste from a full day of thinking. This is not a passive state. It is one of the most active phases of recovery that your body has. You are moving toward it now. The breath continues. You do not need to tend to it. Somewhere deep in the brainstem, the tiny cluster that pumps out your main alertness chemical is going quiet. It only does this in sleep. Only when the conditions of safety are fully met. The conditions are met. The autonomic nervous system has received the signal. The reset is underway. You do not